but we're going to talk tonight. As you grow a team, you have the perspective to be able to watch everybody's numbers. You know, in my back office, if you guys go in your back office, if you have a team, you see all their numbers there. You see everything like that. And so I started keeping track of numbers probably 2.5 years ago, really, really seriously about a year and a half ago. And I know that sometimes you're working really hard and your numbers don't show it. I know how this business works, and I know sometimes we're spinning our wheels and the growth is coming. You know, plant the seed, cultivate the seed grows. I know that there are periods like that, and that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, you know, when time goes by and time goes by and time goes by and your numbers still don't change. And I'm talking to myself as much as I'm talking to everyone else. I also am aware through some of my own seasons where I know what my numbers showed because I know what I was doing. And I get this perspective to be able to talk to so many of you guys. And I'm really curious often and right now, if you are not bringing in new customers and new team members, why is that, do you think?
I know for me, go ahead.
No, it's fine. My answer is going to be very simple. I think what I've seen over the last 2.5 years, when I'm not bringing them in, it's because I'm not working hard. Plain and simple.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Not, and it's not, and sometimes you may be doing a little bit, but you're not doing enough consistently. And sometimes you go through times like that in your business where, you know, just that doesn't mean that it's the right way to do it, but sometimes you just kind of need to coast, because that's, like, for me, I kind of feel like that's where I'm at right now, and I don't like being there, but I also know that I have a lot of other things I'm trying to take care of for me. And so I did, you know, I don't have a big booming business, but I have a big enough one to where, you know, I think that that's where I need to be right now. And that's kind of where I am. So, you know, and I know that I'll bring it back around and fire it back up. But, yeah. Yep. But I know exactly why. I've always told Sarah that I know what I do and I know what I don't do. I know what I should do and what I don't always do for one reason or another. And I think we all do. Like,
I think what makes a difference when you know that you're not working is to know how comfortable you are staying there. Because I can say, oh, you know, yeah, you know, like, oh, I didn't do well this month because I didn't work. And then I didn't do this well because it didn't work. Like, how many months can you look yourself in the mirror and be okay with that and accept your own excuses before you actually start changing it? Like, it's not even really an excuse anymore after it's months and months. It's just a way of life. I'm like, no, it's just you. Like, you're just not doing it. Come on, girl.
Yeah. It's not a place you want to stay in very long, you know what I mean? For sure, because you can get, you know, comfortable there. Even if you don't want to be, it's just whatever you're consistent in is what's gonna happen, and you don't want to stay consistent in something like that.
Yeah. Well, we know that comfort is the enemy of excellence. It absolutely is. And, you know, I don't talk about this a lot because I'm heavy on the self-care, and I'm heavy in that lane because I don't think enough people are heavy in that lane. And so I want to be there. But it also has to be balanced with a portion of, you know, my business doesn't grow any further than where it is right now unless your guys' business grows. And you know, when I look at any of the goals that I've set for myself for the future, they all require, one, me finding new people to help and making my direct line even bigger. I have a beautiful, big, steady, sturdy, healthy direct line, and I'm very, very proud of it. But it must grow, because the cool thing about our business is I can get paid, you can get paid 5 generations down as wide as you want to go. You guys, like, do you understand what that means in terms of how big your paycheck can be? That's a big deal. And so you never want to stop looking for new people to be direct to you, ever. And I believe that that is heavily overcomplicated by all the things that are in our head and all the things that are, all the trainings and all the whatever. And, just for a minute, close your eyes and imagine that social media didn't exist. The internet didn't exist. And you need to build your business by finding other people that can help you sell more product. Because the more product that your specific organization that you created out of thin air when you signed up to do this, the more product that your organization sells, the more your paycheck grows. The more your paycheck grows, the more your dreams are fulfilled. If you have kids that you're doing this for and a family, it's bigger vacations, it's dream things, it's college paid for, it's cars. When your kids get older, it's retirement, it's savings, it's knowing that you're safe. It's a bigger giving. It's making a huge impact. I sat in, our churches have, we're lucky, our church is very financially healthy, and it's because our pastor's on it with that kind of stuff. But he was doing a countdown to when this building is going to be paid off that we've been working on paying off. And I sat there in the pew and I thought, man, what if I could just write a check? What if I could just write a check for that amount right now? That'd be so cool, right? And we get so caught up in all these details and all these systems and all these things. And believe me, you all know it. I'm a habit junkie and I'm a system junkie. I think they're great. It's how we operate. But we forget that we're just looking for humans. And then we open these and our mindset gets all weird. We start making up stories and we start stopping ourselves before we even get started. And there's something that comes in between you and finding these people that are going to join your organization, because I love my organization. I love you guys so freaking much. Like, every time a new one comes, I love it so much. It's so awesome. It's not fair that I'm the one that feels this way. I want you to feel that way. Like, that's what I want. I get to hear your hopes and your dreams and your whys and all this stuff. And it makes me sad occasionally to open the back office and go, man, so-and-so really, really wanted this thing. I wish they were going out there and getting it the way that they said that they really wanted it. And it brings me to that question. If you are not doing it, and some of you guys are doing the do, I see you. I see you. And I used to be really good about getting messages out to people that I see working really hard. And I'm going to step that back up again, because when you're working hard, it should be acknowledged. It really should. But for those of you that are wanting to build a team and wanting to build an organization, what do you think it is that happens between you and starting that conversation with that person? Because here's the thing. All you have to do is start the conversation with the person. The system takes over after that.
I think for me, I don't have anyone under me yet.
Yep.
And I've gotten I would say like a good 6 people so far since I started, a good 6 people that were like, okay, send me the info. And then when we get to the info part, I have like maybe like 3 or 4 people that are like, no, not interested for whatever reason, XYZ. And then, and with the 3-way conversations, right, I have that going too. And then just recently I have one that said she was interested, send me the info, did the 3-way with Tracy, did the 3-way with Trisha, everything looks good, just waiting for paycheck. And then it's kind of like, where are we at? So I kind of at this point with this particular situation, I did my part. You know, I had the right people explain the right same things that I got when I joined. And I think it's like a mindset. So I have to like, I guess my answer to your question is I have to understand the other person, like the whole it's their time, not our time,
Yeah.
and give them that space. So I'm not like harping on her like, hey, I didn't see you sign up yet. I'm just, she has the link, she knows the instructions, she has the money apparently, she said. It's just when she's ready. So I feel like if I have to do this for her to join, I probably will have to be like this for her to work. You know what I mean?
You're right. If I can just give you some experience advice right there, every single person I've drug into this business because I knew better than them and I thought they'd be good at it and I wanted them on my team, they're not with me anymore. Okay.
Yeah, so I don't
actually,
want that.
Yeah. But I also want to tell you this on the other side. Some of those people built my original level 5 team. Okay.
Mm.
Some of those people were part of my first 8 legs that I ever built. Okay. So everybody does have a place. And in this particular instance that you're talking about, I don't think that there's anything wrong with saying, you know, hey, Susie, I saw that you haven't done this yet. Can I ask you, I'm curious, is there something that I haven't answered well? Is there a reason why you haven't moved forward? And maybe there's nothing wrong with that. And in that case, I think that you might be telling you're telling yourself that you don't want to be too pushy or you don't want to do that. And you don't want to be. None of us do. You don't want to be that. That's gross, right? That's why people don't like us. But there's a reason, or not a reason, there's a way to send the same message, to communicate the same thing and be in a human interaction with them. It's actually okay and very natural for you to be curious why she hasn't signed up yet. And it's okay to ask her of that.
I'll tell you, somebody like me needs somebody to ask that. Like if you've invited me to something and I said I'm going to buy something, like I'm going to wait until the very last minute, even though I want to buy it. It's just not a priority of mine and I'm not thinking about it. And for her, like she doesn't know what's on the other side of this. So if she's that excited and she did all the things, like it's not a priority for her yet. And she just may need a little like, hey girl, because if it were me, I'd be like, yeah, I know. I said I was going to do it yesterday. Like, just needed it. Fine, I'll just go ahead and do it right now. Because if I don't do it now, I'm not going to do it. So if she's like me, she may need that little, like, hey, girl, just a small little nudge. The water's fine.
Okay, thank you.
And that's okay. That's not pulling someone in or dragging them in. We all know when we're doing that. I knew it every single time I did it anyway. Not to say I still wouldn't do it again. Who knows? But you know, a lot of times they do need a little bit of something extra. And every time that we aren't moving forward, it's because of something that we're telling ourselves. And those of you guys that listen to Bob or anything like that, you know, he talks about your red light story. Ultimately, your red light story, your mindset, all of that, ultimately, that's all grounded in some core reason, some core thing that you don't like about yourself. You're not confident in yourself. You're messing yourself up all the way because of this one thing, whether it's, and Trisha and I talked about this once. There was somebody who took the core story all the way back to her childhood. It can go that deep. It can go as far as maybe in high school, lots of people didn't like you. Or here's the funnier story. You actually thought they didn't because you were so busy thinking about yourself, but they weren't thinking about you at all because they were really busy thinking about themselves, because that's how this thing works, you know? But you're still afraid to put yourself out there all the way. You're still afraid to go all in. Just for a minute, imagine if before you sat down to work your RNF business or stood up or however you did it, if you did, like you put on like a power song, you did like 10 jumping jacks, like you power posed it up and you were like, I am so freaking pumped to see who I can find today who wants to do RNF with me. I love RNF because it's done this, and this for me. Like you all, if you are having a problem moving forward in that area, you need to form a practice of grabbing a sheet of paper and writing down a handful of things that you freaking love about Rodan and Fields before you do your connections every day. Because you need to spit that on them. And there's somebody who, you know, used to say people don't join people that suck, and people don't come to things that are boring. People don't come to things that suck, right? And if you're so busy thinking about what are they going to think about me? What if they say no? What if somebody else has already asked them? They don't want to do this anyway. All of that stuff. How in the world can you vomit excitement on them in a way that they actually want to be a part of whatever it is you're doing? And I think that that's a luster that's lost. When we all come in, we glow with that. You know what I would give for like first 3 months Sarah back? Holy crap. Like, whoa, right? And you go think about that part in your business, even if you were scared, right? Or maybe the first few months of your business were kind of crappy. So like just pick the one where you first got excited, but whichever one that one is, pick that one and draw energy off that. Because when you have that energy, when you're working your RNF business, your mindset, it can't do the negative thing. It's so busy, flooded with the excitement. And it's so busy, flooded with all the awesome things that you have to tell people because it's really important and what you have is awesome. And you don't know if Susie needs extra money, but you are going to ask because you know Rodan and Fields can put an extra paycheck in her pocket, and who doesn't want that? And if you don't tell her, nobody will, and she has to know. Mm-hmm. We need more of that. More of that. And I also see when I watch our numbers in the back office, when they're growing across the board, I see something in you and in all of you. I see, it's like the veil is off of your mind and you're just going full out like that. You're not worried about tripping over your words. You're not worried about what they're saying. And every last bit of it has to do with your mindset. And if you don't know it, and I think that you do know it, but it's different to know it than to live it. But you have to have, I got this. I cannot wait. Like, I'm going all the way with this. I am building X with it. You have to set your dreams way up here where somebody else is going to tell you that they're stupid or impossible, or you're at least a little embarrassed to tell somebody else about them because they're really stinking big. If they're not, if they're way down here, you're just telling yourself that because you're not allowing yourself to dream because you're scared you'll fail, or you're protecting yourself, or you're doing one of those things, those type of things. And that is not serving you at all. It's not serving you, and it's not serving your people. And what will happen is you will turn around and know we're not in the comparison game. And yes, we keep our eyes on our own paper, but you will turn around and you will see somebody else that joined at the same time that you did, or after you did, or whatever. And you will watch them build what you said you wanted to build. And the only difference is that one person's mindset is hooked in, connected, and going at it. And that person has other things that come in that try, but they say, no, we're doing this. No, we're doing this. When you choose the all-in mindset, it doesn't mean that things aren't going to come at you. Things are going to come at you. It's just that you already made a choice and you are not going to let it throw you off. It doesn't mean that you're not going to struggle. You might in fact struggle even more. You know, because I have this feeling that when we decide we want to do something big, you know, just kind of everything comes at us and says, oh, but do you really want to do that big thing that you said you wanted to do? Because I just want to make sure. Let me make your life like super miserable first to see if you were really serious about that. And it's a big test. Does this sound familiar to you guys? It's been on my mind a lot with myself and with lots of you, just really on my mind, because at the end of the day, if we corrected our mindset and we did the things that we said we wanted to do, one day, not only am I going to open my pulse and it's going to jump like an outrageous amount every single day, but you are. And when I open mine and it's not moving, that means that yours isn't moving. And I've mentioned it before, but one of the most eye-opening things that the coach I hired last year said to me was, if you don't achieve this big thing that you want, that means that no one on your team found success. And I was just floored, just absolutely floored. And I've never looked at it the same way since. And that means that if you don't achieve the audacious, crazy, big thing that you want to achieve, that means that you didn't help anybody else. That means that you had this opportunity in your hand and you just squandered it. And that's not what we do with things that we can turn into big. Whether you're someone who actually needs the money yourself, or whether you're someone who can give in a really big way. I have had weird feelings about money. I think that's part of my own red light stories and stuff. And as I work through them, I realized that, like Wendy, if you guys came to hear Wendy Stevenson that night, she talked about we need more good people with a lot of money. And it's true. And in the state of our world, in this year and last year and all the decades, in just the way that it is, I would love to see the humans on this team with an ungodly amount of money doing incredibly big and wonderful things in this world.
I'd give it to everybody.
I know. Oh my gosh, you guys. Like,
I'd be the person driving down the car with the sunroof down. Yes, the money. Just have it. Yeah, the money gone.
Really? What did you do?
Right.
Can I add to that? Now with my business, because I made 6 months last week. What is today? Oh my God. On Friday. Yeah, I made 6 months on Friday. I don't know what today is. So like I was kind of like doing that whole like, where am I at now versus when I first signed up, kind of like reflection. And I'm at to the point in my business that my RF check, it's not something that I have to depend. I mean, I do depend on it, but it's not like I'm like, come on 11 or come on the 12, come on. Like I'm not like that anymore. And I'm using that paycheck to, go to other small businesses and kind of like, the whole karma, give back and like help other businesses. And I think this business is like a real, like, I don't know how else to explain it to anybody else, but this is a really good thing going here.
It is. And it's a really big thing. And I remember some of you guys were on a call that Jackie offered for the 1200 Club that Adrienne Watley did. And it had been a long time since I'd heard a call like that. And this is a big business. Like, it's a big business. When you just think about like whatever your paycheck is, like whatever my paycheck is, think about like whatever like Adrienne or Jackie's paycheck is. You guys, that is available. It's not just a story from someone else's. Adrienne, yeah.
Adrienne should be more inspiring than any person in this business, because she said it took her 1 year to get one PC. Like, she stuck with it her story is mind blowing. And I'm like, if she saw the vision and stuck around even through all the no's and no PCs and no this, that, and the other. Yes. I remember the first time I heard that and I was like, what?
Yes. And all of her sisters are RFX now. Her mom is a car driver. Her grandmother has a business. Like, and I've driven through the town in Mississippi that they live. It's this big. Okay. She's not kidding. I had to stop and go to the bathroom there on one of our road trips. And I was like, there might not even be a McDonald's there. Like, it's freaking tiny. She's not telling a story. It's nuts. Mm-hmm. I would love to see in our team, I would love to see your eyes light up in a way that you can't turn them off, in a way that you lose sleep in a good way, in a way that you wake up tomorrow and you like legit can't wait to go find people to talk about RF to. I know that in my business, I've been in lulls, highs and lulls and highs and lulls and things, but there's no reason besides some crap story that we tell ourselves that we should ever be not looking forward to talking to people about our business. We're going to have thoughts that come into our head. We are going to have red light stories. They never go away. If you guys listen to one of Bob's podcasts, maybe a couple weeks ago or whatever, it was about like, when do the red light stories go away? They don't go away. It's why I tell you guys, I still deal with the same stuff that you do. I still deal with the same stuff I did when I started. I mean, it's the same crap stories that come that you have to defeat. But the more that you do it, the better you get. And by the way, the less you even focus on that, the better it is. The focus should not be on the red light story. The focus should be on the fire that you have in your hands. That if you don't, there's not another way to put it. If you don't build it, you are squandering it. You're just letting somebody else go do it when it could be yours. And imagine what you could do with it. We want everybody to be successful, but I want everybody and me to be successful. Like, I don't want to be so busy clapping for everybody else that I'm forgetting to work myself and build my thing. And, you know, we're a really positive driven team, and we're a very support driven team. And I wouldn't trade that for anything. But what I would add in is a little bit of fire, because we can all get really caught up in support and helping and all these things. And it's just a way for us to procrastinate by putting the energy in all these places, supporting and helping and doing all these things. And if I do that, then I don't have to like put my head down and build my own business. And that's a very feel-good way to procrastinate. And at the end of the day, you've done a lot of good in the world. I'm not saying that you haven't, but I'm also saying that your business hasn't grown one bit. And by now, some people might say that this is the wrong thing to say, and maybe, and sometimes it is, but right now, I feel like it's spot on. By now, we can be further than we are. We really, really, really can be. Not just is the potential there, but the work is there, the people is there, everything is there. In 2021, like, this team can explode with car drivers, with level 5s. But right now we've got myself, Natasha, Trisha, and Tracy. Let's add 10 to that. Like, it took me a year to hit it. I think it took Trish about a year to hit it. Natasha, how long did it take you?
2 years to hit it the first time, 3 years to hit it consistently.
Yep. I mean, really, and I'll say I hit it in a year, and then it took me a whole nother year to put that sucker back together and build it. I mean, and really find players that wanted to work, right? There is no reason why you can't do that. Just put your head down and remember what you're doing. At the end of the day, you can sell a lot of product and make it a great paycheck. You really can. And maybe you like working hard, and I enjoy a good hard work too, okay? But nobody wants to work that hard. Don't you want to get paid more by having other distributors also pushing the product out into places? That sounds great. Like, that's what I want. It's what I want for you guys as well. I can't want it more than you do, but I know that you guys want it too, because I talk to you. I know that you want it. And so I really think this year is way past time for us to not just want it, but to grab a hold of the fire and the mindset and drop the other things. And some people will say, you know, some people want exact answers to mindset. There aren't. Today, I actually went through some old trainings that I've done and some old trainings that I've taken of other people that were on the topic of mindset. it is the difference between you doing it and you not doing it. Yes, Bob has a wonderful formula for change. And like, if you ever want to figure out how that works, I'll run you through it. It's fine. But basically, all you do is take the story that you're telling yourself and then write it down in a positive way. That's it. I mean, that's really it. Like, say you're not hosting an event and you don't want to host the event because you're scared because maybe people won't come or whatever. And so you don't ask people. And so you don't, well, if you don't ask people, you don't host the event, right? That's pretty easy. Your business doesn't move. You don't make any money. You're not adding new PCs. You're not adding new consultants, right? Flip the story. If you don't ask people, they can never even say yes. So you change your behaviors based off of that. You ask a bunch of people. Lots of people tell you no because, in fact, they don't care about what you're doing or want what you're selling. That's fine too. But then a handful of people tell you yes. Your business grows. You're adding new volume to it. Everything grows. And it's just one simple flip of the mind. That's all it is. And it's founded in your beliefs. Your beliefs and your stories. One of the books I'm reading right now, sorry, book club, sorry, I cheated on you. I am actually reading The Slight Edge right now. We'll read it again, I promise. I couldn't wait, literally couldn't wait. And instead of calling it beliefs it calls it, or stories, it calls it philosophies. So your core belief, your core story, your core philosophy, it creates your emotions. And that your emotions, we're emotionally driven beings. Your emotions then create your actions. Your actions create your results. And so that's why, on the team page, we've got systems for everything. Trisha's created us an incredible getting started system. I want one person to tell me they don't know what to do with a new consultant when they come in. It's right there. It's right there. And videos and clickable links. And guess what? You didn't have to do it. Somebody else did it for us. Incredible, right? We have a system on how to bring in and take care of your PCs. Pretty awesome, huh? We now have a typed up system for how to plan your week. You can come hang out with me and do it on Sunday, or you can do it on your own. So there's a system for every action that you need to do. But you will never get to those actions unless you go way back to the beliefs, the stories, the philosophies that you have grounded in your life. If you don't fix those, if you don't get real pumped up about some awesome beliefs and stories and philosophies that you have about your life, you're never going to create that positive, exciting, emotional energy that then you're going to go and put into your actions that are going to create your results. Make sense?
Yep.
That's all I want to talk about tonight. Been heavy, heavy, heavy on me. I've been thinking about myself and I've been thinking about you guys.
I think one of the cool things of once you finally wrap your mind around it, and you have to do it a lot. It's not just a one time, I'm gonna build my team and I'm gonna go. No, you're gonna have to make that decision a lot. But once you make the decision and then continually make it, but you're growing on a curve. Your curve might be low. It might be a Tracy and just be straight up, but you're on a curve. And so your lows are still low, it's still going to feel like a low, but your low right here is different than your low down here. And so is your paycheck. And then your highs are higher. So you still have highs and lows, but they're not as low as they used to be. I don't know.
Yeah.
Kim and I talk a lot about, remember when 600 was hard? And now we're oh, I didn't get 600 by the 6th and I need to bust my butt. But it's a totally different place because you've allowed yourself to grow and you hold yourself to different standards. And it's steps to get there and steps of growth. And as long as you keep deciding, you're going up, and up is where you want to be.
It is. My lowest paychecks now are still bigger than what I made in the dental field. So I'm not mad about my lows, but I still am aware that they're low. And it doesn't happen without a lot of hard work. And Natasha, you hit it on the head. You say yes to this business every single day. You say yes, but bigger than saying yes to the business every single day, you say yes to yourself every single day. And that's what I want everybody to get more than anything. It's not the business. You don't get to put the business in a box and like categorize it separately. It's not like that. You picked up the business so that you could do something with it with your life. You put the business in a box and put it away. You just put that in a box and put it away. And it's very easy to separate that when you're making excuses and you're making yourself feel better and all of those things. Oh, the business this, oh, the business that, oh, the business whatever. No. When you have something that you want, you don't care if you're selling socks. It's better that we get to sell this skincare, okay? Because I'm pretty sure I wouldn't sign up to sell socks, but it doesn't matter. You pick that up and you run with it because that's what you did. Thoughts? What do you guys want to build this year? I know for some of you guys, but I don't know for some of you.
My plan is to build a team this year of 15 people.
That's great.
And I broke it down to, I have it written down, not over here apparently, but I have it written down downstairs of how many people I would need to get in a month to keep on, or in a quarter, in a monthly and a quarterly basis to keep on cadence and such. Hoping I can get that one person this month so I can still stay on track.
Yes.
But I'm also just kind of like, at the same time, still do what I love to do and market how I like to market, and, still do my daily, what do you call it? My daily tasks, and just, stay consistent, and it'll fall through.
Yep. You may have a month where 0 come in and you may have a month where 3 come in. But your goal never changes. Don't you dare let up on 15 this year. I want to check in with you in October, and I want it to be the coolest story I've ever heard. Don't let go of that. That's an achievable goal, by the way.
Mickey, are you sitting in this place where you currently work?
Oh, my office?
Yes. Is that where you do your RF work?
No. I should. But it's hard when I have 2 toddlers or 2 kids, they want to touch everything. So most of my work is downstairs. But when I have you guys time, then yes, this is where I work.
I was going to say, maybe you should have that goal on 2 levels. So in both workspaces, you see it every day. That's a good reminder, not just, oh, it's downstairs, like it's in the back somewhere. No, it's right here.
I have the short version here, but the detailed version is downstairs. That's where I mostly do my work. But yes, great idea.
It's a Sarah thing. I figured I'd throw it out there. Put it right in front of your face where you see it every day.
It's hard to see. Some days it's exciting and all it does is put a smile on your face and you're there. And some days you see it and it almost takes your breath away because it's so big and it's so scary, but it's so exciting and you're scared that you'll fail. You're scared. We're all scared. When we put a big goal up there, we're all scared that we're going to fail unless you're just superhuman or having an amazing day, right? That's okay. The only way you're going to fail, assuredly, is if you don't try. And that's what we see a lot of. I've seen it in myself before. I've seen it in some of you before. I've seen it in tons of people that aren't here. That's the only way that you are going to fail, is if you put it aside. Then you just gave up. That blows. Allison, what about you?
I have not taken the time to make goals this year. I have been barely with my head above water with my job. My big meeting is this week, so I'm hoping I can breathe by Friday.
Oh, too.
I have been in this room like today since like 7:30 this morning. And yeah, so I'm just taking it in, being inspired. I'm thinking.
It's good.
I haven't set those big so I guess I shouldn't say I haven't set any goals. So I think I was inspired by my January, and I really want to make sure that I hit 1,200 every month.
You did a great job. Yep. I'm inspired by your January. It's really cool to see you grow.
It's been really fun and motivating too, since they did, when did they start it? August, July or August? The $50 and $150 thing. That's been really cool. That's definitely, you know, a little more motivation even too. I mean, money's always motivation. I don't care who you are. It always is.
It is.
But like, you know, just to have that, like, and that's been one thing that's fun for me, like just hitting that, getting that extra 150 every month. Like, it's nice.
It is.
Nice, because you don't get that I don't know about y'all, but I never in my 13 years got a monthly bonus just for work doing my job. Like nobody was like, oh, you did a really good job this month. Here's $150 for you.
No.
Like, no. But so that's pretty cool. That's definitely, you know, a little bit of extra motivation, if you want to say that, just to make sure, you know, that you're hitting at least that 1,200, and you give us motivation to hit 1,500 and above. And it's
I'm going to
nice.
be posting about that again tomorrow. You know, those of you that were around early last year, one of the things that I stopped on last year was the goal of having 50 people on the team hitting 1,500 and more, because at 1,500, roundabout, if it's mostly PC volume, you've got a $500 paycheck. And we all know that $500 is a lot of money. It is life-changing money. You can do something with $500 a month, right? You can do something with $200 a month, but you get it. And last year I set out on a goal to have 50 people on the team hit 1,500, and I got sidetracked by something else. And I quit keeping up with it, keeping track of it. And we actually got pretty close to the goal at a couple of points last year, and then we fell back. And so you guys are going to see that on the team page in the next couple of days, because you know, there are a lot of people that don't want to build a big business for whatever reason. That's not a desire in their heart. And I'm not here to put desires on people's hearts that aren't there. That's not what we do. But $500 a month would change their life. It would make a big impact. And that matters in a big way. And so, you know, in terms of building your teams and things like that, for those of you guys that do want to, and I think everybody here does want to, you know, looking for people who $500 a month, that would be a big deal. You know, I've actually had people tell me they don't want to do what I do. And I'm like, oh, whoa. I'm not asking if like you want to build what I build. Like, that's mine. I'm asking if you might want to make a little extra money with Rodan Infield's products. Oh, okay. Well, maybe. Yeah. So we have to be very careful what we're offering people. And I made that mistake a bunch. I didn't know any better. I just asked a bunch of people if they wanted to do what I did. They were like, no. I had people tell me that they didn't want to do what they did because I quit my job and they liked their job. And I realized that I was putting out something that I didn't mean, you know, to do that. And so anyway, you guys will see that come back on the team page. I've got it on my accomplished list for tomorrow, because 50 people out of our team making $500 or more, that's a big deal. That's really something to be celebrated. So, yep.
Okay, I'm with you on those bonuses. I think they're really awesome, and they make goal setting really easy, because if you're in that stage of your business to where 600 or 1,200 is something you know, in your wheelhouse, like absolutely. Because if you miss it, you're literally losing money. Like any other goal you can set, like, oh, I wish I could get 1,000 this month, you know, but if you miss it, it's like, oh, not a big deal. But like if you miss 1,200, you miss $150, you know,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
no, you're not going to fall short on your goals, my love. You've got to stay
Yeah.
working because money.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it's like, and it's been nice too that they've done, you know, special calls, and they do 3 different giveaways during all of those calls. You know, Jackie does the gifts. I mean, it's just like little extra. It's not anything that like makes or breaks, like, but it's just the extra stuff on top, because that's just not something you get in a,
No,
most people don't anyways, in a real job, so to say. I hate to even use that term, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, a place of employment that is not something you have for yourself. Like, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the acknowledgement that you don't always get in the corporate setting.
Yes, that's a nice way to put it in the corporate setting. Yeah.
I know, I
Yeah.
call it my job too. I'm like,
Yeah.
I was just telling my friend that too. Like, I asked her to join because like she's always been known for like top 20 associate in the corporate world. Like her name, when I was working in the corporate world, her name was always the top 2%. And she said that the most that she's gotten from the company for being consistent for like 3 years of like 100% quality was a $20 gift card. And I was like, girl, ever since I've been working here, I've been bonusing every month. I have not stopped. And she was like, really? And I'm like, yes. And I have to remember too, like, I was in her position too. Like, I used to put, and it's sad to say it out loud, but it was true. I had put my family on the back burner so I can move up in the corporate world. And then that's all we got was like a printout and a gift card that got lost in the mail. You know, like,
Right.
yeah, I got 2 that got lost in the mail. Never got it.
Mhm.
But like this, man, I can't compare it to any job that I worked before.
Mhm.
Like, this is not even a job. This is having fun
It's
and
really,
getting rewards. Like,
it is.
it's great stuff.
It really is. Good point.